I just recently came across a blog post about social media and how it is falling apart. And this is a really good blog post. I would say that. And I would highly recommend you read it. I'll put the link down in the description. But I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on social media in general and try to link it to this blog post. Basically, what it's saying that social media is falling apart and there's a lot of toxicity going on and there needs to be room for other spaces and or just more positivity. Now I can agree with that. And honestly I think one of the best ways that we can get away from social media is to actually get away from it from time to time. I think there's some people who stay on social media way too much, and there's a lot of pile on going on in social media that doesn't make it a very healthy place. Now, you can look at certain things like, somebody who's getting dragged on social media, somebody have a hot take, or somebody just, needs to be canceled, and it gets really bad at times. And I mean, I don't care one way or less because I don't participate in stuff like that, but I see what people are saying. Now, there's also talking about in this blog where people are like leaving the big platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and they're going to smaller areas. Like they're going back to forums, they're leaning on Discord, they're going to other places that are more lined up to those type of formats. I mean, I think Reddit is another one that people are kind of going back to, and it's much of a it becomes an echo chamber, but it does leave people in some sort of sanity, even if some of the echo chambers aren't really helping to expand someone's mind. But there's also a case that is it, social media a place to expand your mind? Can it be? I think we all been into a situation where we've been in social media for so long. Like we've been on Twitter, we've been on X or Facebook for so long, to the point where we feel that that it's a place for mindless wonder. It's a place where people just can go and not necessarily be on point to actually thrive and be successful or learn from one another. There, it's all about owning the day, getting one up on your political opponents or getting one up on your video game opponents. I get it, but I do also understand where it is not necessarily a good idea to have these ideas at times. And I mean, it's fun sometimes, but at the end of the day, I feel like we need to take a step back sometimes because it's just not very healthy. And it also goes on to say in this, on this blog post where this person who wrote it actually is trying to go different places where he can actually necessarily thrive and have good, conversations with people or whatever the case may be. Also, he also realized that there's been some type of a shift where a lot of companies were actually trying to get social media influencers or people who they felt like influencers jobs. And now, like especially with Twitter, where Twitter is not necessarily a place where you can do that anymore. People with big followings just don't get the reach, and I think that's a lot to do with Elon Musk with the way that he's changed things. And they tried to do companies tried to do something similar, like with Mastodon and what was the one, Meta, or I think Threads. They try to do the same thing, and it just doesn't, it doesn't really work. And it just feels like that everything is splintering out to where it's going to go back to forums. It's going to go back to, Reddit posts, or people just going to, everybody do it now, like build their own Discord where everybody is, actually in one space where they talk about their ideas. And it's not much, it's not really much room for, diverse thought in some cases because, and I think that's one of the downfalls to just social media in general. I feel like if you go to smaller areas, I think you're just basically finding a place where you are sharing ideas with like-minded people, which kind of what was social media was supposed to be about to begin with. If you look at Facebook, and I'm gonna talk about the difference between Facebook and Twitter in a second. But if you look at Facebook was basically a place where everybody got together, their friends. I think it started out in the colleges. College students was able to get it first, but it was basically where everybody was like-minded and they were, talking about certain things together, and they find a way to really conversate. Now, if you look at social media now, it's a lot of division in social media. And I think there's a lot of political, a lot of political influences doing that. A lot of companies are doing it. There are some influencers that are participating in it to the point where it always has to have chaos on the platform. They feel like what was supposed to bring us together is now pulling us more apart because they feel like they need to be more engaged. Most people don't even care if if you're going against one another all day long and you're killing your brain cells, you're killing your sanity. It all feels like they need you on the platform to watch ads. They need you on the platform to drive engagement. They don't really care if you're out there not necessarily pulling together and trying to find solutions to certain problems. This is why, in some cases, even in the gaming world, there's been problems, that had no solution for years because people would rather argue about those certain, issues instead of actually fulfilling that solution and going on to the next. I mean, that's obviously going on with politics. But when you really see it going on in other spaces, like in regular conversation, I feel like it's a really big problem. And I think at the end of the day, what we really need to figure out is like, all right, as an individual, what do I need to do to actually keep my sanity? This is one of the reasons why I don't be on social media as much anymore. And before I get out of here, I'm going to talk about Facebook and Twitter. When you look at Facebook, Facebook is a place where if you've been on Facebook, everybody, when everybody has good things going on in life, they're quick to post. They love to post about, what food they're eating, how much money they're making. And I mean, I'm not talking about fake people making fake money. I'm talking about people who are making like real money, and their life is good. They're posting. And sometimes when things go wrong, things they go away. And I know a lot of people seen that before. When things are not going well, they don't post. You can barely see them. They're not even posting much. Twitter is somewhat of the opposite, or X is somewhat of the opposite. When things are going bad, they go out and, take it out on other people. And I think that's one of the reasons why Twitter has become, or X has become the place that it's been, where it's more toxic than anything. And I'm really worried about that, but it's not much you can do about it. I just noticed that that's been an issue for over a decade. Also there's other studies out there talking about how social media could cause eating disorders, poor body images. It's all about how long are you staying on this. It can affect your mind, body, and soul. So I think, I found this entire blog was very interesting. If you want to go look at it, I'll put the link down in the description. I think it was a very, very interesting topic. And I wanted to give my 2 cents to cause awareness so people would know how to deal with certain things. So deal with social media. So hopefully you guys will check it out. And I'll see you guys pretty much on the next one. All right, y'all. Let me know what you guys think, because I think this is it's a really important topic. All right, y'all. I'm out here. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. Peace.